Episcopal, number 27. Tell me, what is your name and what you did to prepare for the race today?
I'm Jake Vickers, and the big thing we did today was just do our routine check to make sure everything's tight and ready to go.
All right, I noticed you have your camera mounted on your chest. I've seen one on the helmet. Tell me, why is it placed where it is today?
This one right here is just for my personal video, but back on the back we actually have a 360-degree live stream on YouTube right now.
Okay, so you'll get to see all your facial expressions. Good. And who are you?
Hi, I'm Sophie Alford.
Okay, Sophie. Well, is this your first year participating?
This is my 4th year.
Oh, wow. So you are a veteran.
Yes, we both are.
Okay. What'd you do different this year than you did before?
We redesigned our wheels and decided to do 4-wheel drive on this Rover versus 2-wheel drive. This year we've cut off 10 pounds from each wheel and have doubled the friction by spraying them with truck bed liner. So
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the wheels because it kind of looks like if I were to put a couple of boxes together. Tell me, am I right?
Yes, it's 7 layers of cardboard glued together, and yeah.
And sprayed with truck bed liner.
Yes, and then we have it cut out in a certain pattern to be like a mud tire to get more traction.
Well, your ingenuity is amazing, and we need that type of ingenuity as we move forward to what's next. So thank you, good luck, and we'll see how you do. All right, back over to you, Bill and Chris.
Thanks very much. That was Parish Episcopal School from Texas. Team 1 is on the starting log, and we'll be watching them here in just a moment. In the meantime, we're keeping track of Alfonso Costa from Puerto Rico, coming up and approaching the 5-minute mark. One of their compatriots from the university side, Umakaw, currently has our fastest. Now, once again, we do not have they will give awards to first, second, and third place in both the high school and college divisions. The fastest time you're seeing there is not only unofficial, it's only whichever team is the fastest, and in this case was a college team. But right now, there goes Parish Episcopal, making their run right now, officially over our about to finish obstacle number 1, excuse me. And we're joined now by a couple of their teammates here. First of all, tell us your name and what year are you in school?
I'm Soham Kulkarni and I'm in 9th grade.
My name is Whitney Wheeler and I'm a senior.
And Whitney, of course, is a veteran of these races. We've seen you here a few times.
Yes, this is my 4th year and I'm kind of bummed it's over. But
okay. Well, what are your college plans? Maybe you could bring this program to where
I know. I'm hoping that. I'm thinking about going to either Texas Christian or Clemson, both which have great engineering programs. So I'm hoping to maybe push some professors into wanted to join.
Excellent. So, what was the biggest challenge for you this year when it came to actually putting this buggy together?
So, in designing the Rover, we designed several things that worked in theory. But when you put them into practice, the welding or the angles that we put them at weren't very good, so I had to learn how to make both the design good and the application good.
Where did you try to cut to try to save some of the weight ratio?
We have the weight of the wheels, and then we have aluminum seats instead of steel this year.
That's I think the wheels is a good place to start, Chris. Don actually mentioned them earlier, but I wanted to show this to the folks at home. I don't know if you were able to see this. This is one of their wheels, and I'm not that strong, but this is how light it is. I'm able to do it with just one finger, and I kind of want to, if you can see it on edge and try to get into the light just right there. What did you make this out of?
Cardboard.
This is a cardboard wheel.
Yes, sir.
But obviously, it's you treated it in some way to give it some rigidity.
Yes. It's sprayed with truck bed liner, which is just a marketable copolymer, which creates a ton of durability.
Cots, commercial off the shelf, right there. Look at that. That is just. I just think this is one of those simple designs that we look at and go, well, how come we didn't think of this, Chris?
Yeah, and this goes back to the idea of, once again, students aren't allowed to go buy a tire. You have to make a tire, in whatever creative, ingenious way that you can. We've seen some teams that actually pour their own liquid rubber and make their own mold. Some teams will use, if it's wood. I've seen metal tires, cardboard, and then, like you said, using rubber bed molding.
That's pretty sturdy too. You can't. This is not bendable. It's
Well, how long did it take you to make one tire?
It's a process. We have to cut each layer individually on our laser cutter, and that takes about 20 to 30 minutes because of how dense the cardboard is. And so it is a couple month long process to make them. And then these actually are a little smaller because
in order to get up the hill, we need to increase our force on the outside. So in applying the same torque on the axle, if we can reduce the radius of the wheel, then it'll increase the force so we can get it up easier.
We're watching, let's see, this is still the team from Alfonso Costa High School in Puerto Rico are approaching and getting over that last obstacle now and approaching our finish line. Looks like their time's going to come in at just shy of 8.5 minutes.
Yep, and that's great to see teams from all around the world competing at Rover Challenge. While they finish, the Parish Episcopal School is still on the course. We see a shot of them and those cardboard tires that we were just talking about. It looked like one of the Rover drivers actually had to get off. This team right here, as well as many teams, has a great social media presence. I've been able to all year long follow them online and see what they do on Facebook, what they do on Twitter. They spend a lot of time posting content on Twitter, and so that one goes back into us that we're broadcasting this on live on our Rover Challenge Facebook page, and you can follow and get updates from Twitter. But you guys are also doing a Ustream.
Yeah, you're streaming 360 live right now.
Yes, sir, we are, and we're going to have another Rover come on up. We are fortunate enough this year that we have enough funding and enough teammates. We're going to be able to do 2 Rovers. So you're going to see number 28 come up here soon, and it is just incredible we've been able to do so much in 1 year.
Where can people, if they want to see your 360, because that's kind of cool, if they wanted to watch it right now?
It will be tweeted from our teacher's Twitter. So Jen Makins 79.
Okay, so open up a new window if you're watching this live, so you can keep us live as well, but you can still watch our 360 live stream. Guys, thanks very much for joining us. We're going to keep an eye on your team, and hopefully they'll be able to make. I'll tell you what, hang loose just for a minute. Let's head over to Dawn, who's got our next team on the blocks, and then we'll rejoin Parish Episcopal in just a second. Dawn?
All right, thanks, Bill. I'm here with Tennessee Tech University. Who do we have here?
Macy Williams.
All right, Macy, as a driver, what did you do to prepare for this race?
Prepare for this race, Macy mainly did physical work. I just prepared because I've done this before. I've raced the race before. This is my second year. I overseen making these seat backs was a lot of things. I milled out a lot of parts for the team, and then found the conveyor belt material for the tires.
Oh, perfect. So you had a few roles in making this happen. Good for you. All right, and who else do we have here?
Isaiah McKinney.
Okay, how did you prepare for the race?
I prepared for the race by doing extraneous workouts. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be the power in the back to help us get over through the big obstacles. We've just done a lot to get here, and we're proud of it.
You should be proud of it. Is this your first year here?
Yes, ma'am. First one in the race.
All right. Well, welcome. Well, we know that you'll do well. Wishing you good luck, and thank you. Back to you, Bill.
All right. Thanks very much, Dawn.
We have got great people all around the course, volunteers from all of NASA Marshall, the U.S. Space Rocket Center, making this happen. And Don, you're doing a great job. We appreciate having you here. And for our viewers at home, we're going to see a lot of different people coming and going in the broadcast booth, as well as the start-finish line. So you can see that it does take a lot of people to make this event happen, as well as the guests that we get a chance to speak with, as we still have 2 members of the Parish Episcopal School joining us right now. Parish Episcopal last year actually won the Telemetry Award in 2016, as well as the Best Report Award. And so, yes, it is about designing a rover and finish the course, but there's a lot of logistics that go on behind that. Telemetry, Best Design, Safety, Team Spirit Award. And so, obviously, you guys want to win, but what are some of those awards that you guys try to tackle and focus on, or you just try to win them all?
Well, really, for me, at least, coming here to win isn't a big deal. After doing this for 4 years, it is about the process and about becoming a team and leaving that legacy with all those younger people. I mean, we've already started talking about what we're going to do for next year, and I think the thing that I always want to do is leave here as a better team than we came. If we lose, if we win, if it breaks apart, I don't care. I know that's awful to say, but I care more about these people than I care about the machine that we build.
I think you're right. The whole point of this project is to incorporate all the many different aspects of it, just like they do at NASA. You know, when it comes to any of the projects they're building, all the way from the smallest little trinket to all the way to the Space Launch System or the International Space Station. There's many parts to it, and I'm not just being physical parts. I mean the reports and the telemetry and things like that. And you guys are learning about all those things. What are the kinds of things that you think you're going to take forward from this event that you're going to be able to use in the future?
So one thing is probably the design process, because we've had a lot of mentors that have helped us with this a lot, in that they've taught us how to be productive with our time. They've taught us how to make sure that what we're doing is useful in the future, and they've taught us how to approach it in a in a method that will continue to help us in the future. We can use the same system over and over.
Now, you mentioned something earlier about how important it is to leave a legacy, and I know that's something that we also are consider that at the agency, to the point that one of the aspects of that is actually recognized and is part of the challenge is outreach. Now, I understand that you've also been working that as well as with your social media.
Yes, so we take a lot of pride in the outreach that we do with our school. So almost half or more of our team has helped out with First Lego League Robotics. We host the regional and the championship at our school, and so we help volunteer as much as we possibly can. And in addition to that, our school has its first nonprofit initiative, and it's called Maker Play. It is helping chronically ill children in the hospital learn STEM while they are sick. And so I know that I participate in that, and another or a couple more of us participate and go to the hospital and teach kids. And I think that at least my love of STEM had come from this project, and it is great to be able to share that with other kids in our community.
Chris, I know you've been involved in some of the First Robotics events here in the past, and you get to see it on multiple levels as well as watching all the students come up and the enthusiasm. But what's it like getting to work with the little ones? It's something that they think, I'm just going to put together, the Bat Cave or something, and actually use it to create an actual robot. It's
incredible. I actually was fortunate enough to judge this year, and I judged core values, if you know what that is. And the kids come in and they're so excited, and I love that. I love to see their passion and how excited they are about everything.
All right, well, guys, thanks very much. We appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us. I'm sure we'll be talking to you multiple times this weekend with two teams out here. Team from Parish Episcopal in school out of Texas. Whoa. And we're keeping an eye out, hoping to see your team here any minute now. But once again, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you guys a little bit later.
Great, thanks.
And let's see, which team is this out here on
Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech, that's right.
Thank you. While Parish Episcopal is still working their way around to the back end of the course, and so
Tennessee Tech, another team from just up the road here a little bit.
Yes, Tennessee Tech, local team just north of here. We're regionally, the United States Space and Rocket Center is located on the north side of Alabama, so we're just 30 miles from the border of Tennessee. So Tennessee Tech not too far away. Tennessee Tech also the home of NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore.
Right, he's one of their proud alumni. We have quite a few of them actually, because they've got an excellent engineering school. So we count among the ranks at the Marshall Space Flight Center quite a few alumni from Tennessee Tech University. Coming down the hill there now, looks like they've got a good bounce, as it were, to their rover. So that means it's nice and flexible when it comes to your shock absorbers coming over some of these obstacles.
And it's great when we hear the students talk about, once again, we just heard shock absorption, how you don't want to lose your speed, but you don't want to end up breaking your rover. And then also, especially from the Parish Episcopal group, we just talk about gear ratio and how they apply that, and to the radius of the wheel in order to get the energy, and use as much energy as possible. And so these students are really taking the time. High school and college students really take the time through the months of this design process. Again, it starts in August and it works away here as we see the dual shot of rovers right now. These teams and these students have worked on this since August as either a senior project or a capstone project, and they bring these rovers here at the end of the school year in celebration of all the hard work they've done. You've got Parish Episcopal on the left, Tennessee Tech on the right. Tennessee Tech trying to work their way through the Martian Butte, one of the more difficult obstacles here. Even though it's smooth and it's not bumpy, it's one big hill with a high incline, and that really, if you don't have the proper gear ratio or if you don't have the speed, you're going to have trouble with that obstacle.
Sometimes it's all about momentum, and they've got to get a chance to try to get up and over that hill. And then on the backside of it, you've got loose regolith on the backside. So if you try to tackle it straight on, your wheels are just going to do nothing but sink right down into that.
Yep. And then another shot right here, a perfect shot of how wide the Parish Episcopal tires are, compared to the Tennessee Tech tires. And we just talked about that. Think of loose gravel, and if you've got something that's thin, it's going to slip in between those gravel. You can get stuck. Something wider would do better in that instance. But this course is different from front to back. And so the teams actually, a lot of these, they've been here before, and they've seen the course, and so they get a chance to kind of figure out how to deal with that.
Now, you saw rolling off the top of that hill there, the team from Tennessee Tech, even though their tires are a little bit thinner, they were able to actually go through one of the mounds of dirt there, but unfortunately they got hung up on another one.
Yeah, the space in between. Wait,
is this space karaoke?
But they can, you're right. So thick tires, thin tires, heavy tires, side-by-side, tandem riders, small tires, big tires. There's so many different unique designs here. It's always interesting to see which ones are best. This team right here at the start-finish line, once they're ready to go, I followed them online. So we got 2 teams on the course. We got 1 team at the start-finish line that has a great story to tell. Hopefully we'll get some of their people up here as we see what looks to be Parish Episcopal with, I'm going to assume is...
I'm going to hope that, well, it looks like, I don't know if they're you see that where the pivot point is, the hinge there at the bottom. I don't know if that maybe had given way, so they're having to walk it the rest of the way, or if it's a drivetrain issue. But they're full on carrying it. They're not. I don't know if the wheels are not turning or what exactly the problem is. But once again, there are penalties for each one they have to step over, but that's okay.
Yep, and this that's a perfect point. That pivot point right in the middle.
That answers that question as far as if the tires are still able to roll.
Okay, tires are rolling. That pivot point shows that this Rover is probably 7-8 foot long from front to back, but these are collapsible